يسمو يتعالى.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Warm welcome to all our valued Salam Media listeners this afternoon on the Nafeesa Dangor Show, where of course we're going to give you nothing but the best of a little bit of everything. And when I say that, we have a bumper packed version of really nice things happening this afternoon. So do join us, go grab a nice cup of tea, coffee, sit on your lounge suite and get enticed into nothing but a better space. And we're talking about different things this afternoon. So let me give you a bit of insight in what you can expect on the show. We're going to start off with Africa Muslims Agency, who's going to be talking about their current visit in Malawi and what the purpose of it is. That will be followed by Dr. Ibrahim Ali speaking about a machine that is able to detect any illness in a person's body. And I think that is so apt right now for what is happening around us and all the issues that people are facing as far as health is concerned. So that's something to really look forward to. Followed by something really amazing and phenomenal. A 6-year-old, his name is Abdul Rahman. He's going to be speaking to us about an innovation from the Utiala STEM Institute, in conversation as well with Abdul Razak, who's his dad. They're going to be speaking to us about this innovation that he created at the age of 6. And I think it's such a phenomenal innovation. So you have to stay tuned and watch that. And then one of the lead authors of Lockdown Behind the Mask is speaking to us about a contribution towards the book. That's Jen Wittarunga. Jen's also written, she's an avid author, very well-known author of children's books, and she's also contributed towards the book. She and Rashida Khan actually incepted the idea during lockdown, and the stories and the phenomenal messages that have come out of this book are just something to look forward to. So stay tuned for that interview as well. And as usual, we end off always with an inspirational poem. So this is the lineup for this afternoon. I think you do need to stay tuned because we can definitely inspire you in many directions. Something that stood out for me that I was reading from an unknown author this morning, it says, another day, another opportunity to think better, to think bigger, to be better, to make better choices, and to create a better tomorrow. I think it all starts with now, as they say. If we get up this morning, ask ourselves, what is it that we're going to do for ourselves and others to be able to create a purposeful day and have a should we say, an inspirational day going forward. But we're going to go for a quick break, and then we're going to be joining our guest from Africa Muslims Agency, Brother Hussain Choonara. So stay tuned with us.
Are you willing to do your part to help those in need? Water is a human right and is essential to all life. We take it for granted every single day, but many people living in Africa do not have access to clean water. Africa Muslims Agency is building water wells to assist those in need. One water well costs 12,000 Rand and benefits hundreds of people. A gift of water is a gift of life. What will your donation be, and how many lives will you change? Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za.
Should we say Thursday afternoon, to be able to inspire you into a different space. We're going to start off with Africa Muslims Agency, and we're going to be joining Brother Hussain Choonara, who is on the ground in Malawi. But before we do that, let me tell you a little bit about the organization. It's over 3,000 full-time employed staff that's spread across the continent of Africa, vigorously striving towards achieving maximum productivity, service excellence, and achieving the most professional results for their donors and those in need, primarily for the sake and progress of Islam in Africa. The agency diligently pursues this vision and mission in Africa by providing relief in respect of food to the most starving and hungry. They also, of course, help out with water, shelter, medical care, education, and a whole lot of other projects as well. Joining me on the line, I have Brother Hussain Choonara. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Hussain. We do seem to have a bit of a technical glitch there because we are coming through directly from Malawi. let's see if we can connect up with him. They're doing some amazing things, and being in Malawi at the moment, I think it's great that they're there because once you're there on site itself, you get to see the real situation for what it is, and people around you start understanding why you're there and the purpose you serve there in order to be able to empower and give back in many directions. And as Africa Muslims Agency has been doing work across the continent in Africa to those that are primarily in need of different things, such as food, shelter, water. They've also been giving medical care to the most sick, education, I think, which is very important, and establishing poverty relief developmental projects. So basically, they go out there, define the need of those in that particular communities and those particular areas in Africa itself, and then of course go in and serve that need to those people as well. And they believe in restoring the dignity, respect, and honor of most of fellow Muslims throughout Africa. And it's nice to see them giving back in many directions. We're going to actually just see if we can connect back up with Brother Hussain Choonara. Okay, we don't seem to be getting him on the line there. There seems to be a little bit of a technical glitch, since we are going to, of course, try and hook up in Malawi. And as we know, the signals are not that great out there. So we're going to go for a quick break, and we'll be back with you in a few minutes. That ain't happening. It's breaking. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Nafeesa Dangor Show. And we're hooking up with Brother Hussain Choonara, who's on the ground in Malawi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you so much for joining us on the show this afternoon. Brother Hussain, are you there? We seem to be having quite a bad signal there in Malawi. Assalamu alaikum. Let's see if we can try one more time to get a hold of Brother Hussain Choonara. Give us a few minutes and we're going to go back to that. But as I was talking about the lineup, there's something very interesting that we're going to be talking about this afternoon. After this particular segment, we've got Dr. A.B. Ali coming in, and he's from Stella Med. He's going to be talking to us about a machine that it actually gives you a breakdown of particular ailments that you have that you never thought you could possibly have with you. And he's going to be giving us a breakdown on how that machine works. But let's see if we can hook up back with Brother Hussain Choonara from Africa Muslims Agency. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Nafeesa, how are you doing this afternoon?
Alhamdulillah, it's so great to have you on the show, and thank you so much for taking the time out to join us, doing some phenomenal work as always. Talk to us about your journey there in Malawi and what is going on. What is it like on the ground?
we've been here. I think most of the viewers would know Africa Muslims Agency is based. We build water wells, masjids, boreholes, schools across Africa. So we have teams that are based here. They've experienced in terms of the structures that we build. So the South African delegation that arrived on Saturday will be here for a few more days, partnering our teams here in Malawi, overseeing some of the projects that we do here, like water wells and boreholes and masjids, and also giving feedback to the donors as well.
And as we know, the situation in Malawi is quite dire. The people are quite impoverished in that particular country as such. Talk to us about your purpose this time round, because I know you've been in and out of Malawi quite a few times. But what is it what are you doing this time besides the boreholes?
Malawi has 55,000 villages, Nafeesa. Alhamdulillah, we build more than 1,500 water wells a year. But there's thousands more villages that are in need. And I just want to share a story with you. This morning we met two families, of which there are many. And, meeting with his mom this morning, she lost her two children because, every day they need water, like everybody else needs water.
Yes.
The difference here is, Nafeesa, is that the mother and the two children, they go to the nearby river to fetch water. And, it's a crocodile-infested river. And she lost children fetching water.
That is really sad. I mean, and it's something, I think Brother Hussain, we take for granted here in South Africa because water is so accessible to us, and not realizing the plight of the people in that particular country and how bad it really is and what that borehole actually does for them.
Absolutely. I don't know if you can hear behind me here. The ladies are in absolute elation and excitement. When we came into this, I'm standing at an Islamic center sponsored by one of the donors of Africa Muslims Agency. Alhamdulillah, it's a beautiful masjid. There's classrooms, there's a home for the imam, there's teaching happening here. The ladies are singing outside and they learn here at this Islamic center. And it's a center that's vibrant. You see, in Africa, when you put a masjid in a borehole, people congregate around it. People start living around it. It becomes a hub. It becomes a center point for people to stay around. So, whether it be a water well, a borehole, or a masjid, you're not just giving water, Sister Nafeesa, like we've learned this morning and over the past few days. You're absolutely saving lives. Because
most definitely. I so agree with you there. I mean, because if you really look at it, I mean, just from this morning's story alone, it's so sad to see that, lives have been lost just for people to actually go out and get out something that's a necessity.
I mean, imagine the mother who wakes up in the 3 in the morning, already having the trauma of going to fetch water, walking through the African bush to go, and when they get to the river, having to lose the child in front of their eyes. What is that trauma once, and so waking up every other morning and negotiating that every single day for 3-4 times, their entire life. So when the donor sponsors a water well or a borehole, not only, like you say, they're giving water, they're literally saving lives. The reward for the donor, I'm standing in front, and right now I'm standing right in front of a borehole, and I'm watching the women taking water from the borehole, and I'm thinking of the donor that sponsors this borehole, like the water that's flowing from the borehole and underneath as well. That is the reward for the donor. Allah accept the need of every single person. And this, Allah, this is not for me to come here and change the situation. Allah doesn't need me. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need us to come and change the situation in Malawi or anywhere in Africa or around the world. Allah doesn't need us to do that.
But you know what? You have become the means to be able to reach out to these people. And I think that is important because you've determined the situation there, what it's like, and of course the needs of the people. And now you're helping them fulfill that. Paint us the picture. It's such a pity that we couldn't hook up because of the signal where we could see the actual thing happening there. But from COVID-19, where are you at right now? Because I mean, I'm sure this has affected them as much as it has affected us here in South Africa, but probably on a more serious level than what we're at.
Absolutely. And I wish you could see the pictures behind me. It's an inspirational today. It's a day that is a scorcher of a day today in this village, in Wombe village, actually, where I'm standing. And like you say, COVID-19 has impacted the globe. And of course, Malawi as well has impacted them. And that's why water is so, so, so important to wash, to sanitize, to clean, That's why water is so important. And today is an amazing day. I feel blessed to be standing here. I feel Allah is testing us more and more. Because
Yeah, and you know what? I think Allah has left you there and you're fulfilling your purpose. And it's so amazing to see people like you give back so selflessly, because that's what it's about, to be able to look at somebody that's less fortunate than you and try and empower and uplift them in some way.
Absolutely. Allah brings this to our attention, and the listeners are listening to Salam Media. Allah brings us to our attention because He wants us. He's seeing He's giving us the opportunity to earn His mercy, His rahmah. And right now, as I'm speaking to you, I'm leaving the borehole and I'm walking into the classroom, and there's maybe 60 or 70, maybe 80 children in here learning.
I can hear in the background. I can hear that in the background. And, it's such a pity, as I said, we couldn't actually hook up so that people could see the actual thing happening there, the true experience. But it's nice hooking up with you to be able to get an idea of things. What sort of projects are you undertaking besides the boreholes in Malawi? The reason I asked the question is I would like our listeners to get involved with the types of projects that you're doing, to be able to uplift and empower those people in Malawi with the types of needs that they require.
Absolutely, not only in Malawi, but across Africa. People, poverty is high in Africa because of a lack of access of clean, drinkable water. Mm-hmm. And when you provide water, we've seen in the villages that we've been over the past few days, someone has clean water, they're able to grow food. And when they grow food, they're able to eat. And when they're able to eat, they're able to think clearly and able to do things in life. Because if they don't have water, they don't have food, they don't have shelter, you take care of those three main things, and someone's able to focus on their future. This is so important. There are thousands of villages across Africa that need water. I would encourage, like answering to your question, whoever's listening, go to Africa Muslims Agency or CRO. Find out what heal Africa through water, through shelter, through education. We build schools here, and masjids and Islamic centers. And let it become your sponsorship, let it be a place of vibrancy, a place that saves lives. But most importantly for you, when someone eats food, when someone drinks water, that is your desire, your niyyah in your heart of why you did the project being answered.
Hafiz Hussain, I agree with you there. And as you were saying, it's about, I like the term that you used where you said you empower the people, because by teaching them to farm and teaching them to grow their own food, they're becoming self-sustainable in some way. And that is the idea, is to just empower and uplift people. And I think that's what's important, because when you go back to Malawi and you see that upliftment, I'm sure that fulfillment that it gives you find nowhere else.
Absolutely. It's about empowering and sustaining sustainable projects. It's not just about building a masjid, but making sure that the masjid becomes a place of vibrancy, that people are learning, people are educated, and that's what's happening at the Islamic Center that we are standing at right now here in Wombe village. And whoever's listening right now, they can contact our offices, go to our website, and be part of empowering and healing Africa.
Most definitely. Hafiz Hussain, what message would you like to leave our viewers with this afternoon? Something very important that they need to know, not just from a Malawi point of view, but from an Africa Muslim Agency's point of view.
Sister Nafeesa, when I sit here in front of a family or in front of a person, I realize that I'm being tested more than the person I'm meeting. And that I'm not here to do anybody a favor, but they are doing me a favor. And we are all, have our weaknesses. What opportunities do we have to guarantee us our Jannah? And these are all opportunities for us. And at African Muslims Agency, it's about serving humanity with dignity. And we have campaigns and projects across South Africa, in Afghanistan, in Lebanon, in the refugee camps, that you can participate in and ensure that someone has food, as well as someone, an orphan is taken care of, that someone has water to drink. To go to African Muslims Agency on behalf of your family, of those that are passed on, donate on their names. And may Allah accept the niyyah and illuminate the qabr and the graves of those we are making niyyah for right now. And may Allah elevate the status of Jannah. And may this your generosity be a sadaqah jariyah for you and those who you have intended before.
Most definitely. And, it's about also getting involved to be able to understand the needs of people and lift them up, not just in one area. We can start at home as well. And I know there's loads of projects that you do here as well. So it's not just only throughout Africa, but you're doing lots of stuff in South Africa itself as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. The teams have been active, especially this year with COVID-19. And literally every day, every single day around country, the volunteer teams, the staff have been active because we know what COVID-19 has done, not only to the informal sector, but in normal, just in every aspect, every area, every suburb, people are facing the challenges of where the world is right now. For people are in need, think of your neighbor and just remember that, wherever you are right now, you have a tap to open it, you have water, you are blessed. There are others who are taking water from crocodile-infested rivers, risking their lives every single day to quench their thirst.
And of course, from the home base as well, besides Malawi, if you really look at the rural areas and the types of situations people face, as you can see, water is also a very big issue right here. And I think what had happened was COVID-19 had actually shed more light on the situation. It was there already. And I think people hadn't realized how serious the situation was until COVID came about. And I think it gave us that, should you say, that connection to be able to understand the plight of these people.
Absolutely. And of course, we know the situation in South Africa, particularly in the valleys and the hills of the Eastern Cape. And our teams have been out there as well in the Eastern Cape. And we know there's a lack and an urgent, dire need of water and food in those areas as well. In the Western Cape, there's far areas. Some of the areas we look at everything, they are tourist attractions. Our teams have been out in Mossel Bay distributing food. There are hundreds of families there in urgent need of food as well. So across South Africa and Africa, and like rightfully say, Sister Nafeesa, that COVID-19 has just amplified the need locally and internationally. But it's more an opportunity. At a time when most people are fearing, most people are uncertain, it is a time for us to give more, to be more, to share more. Because Allah is testing us. Are we going to hold back and hold on, or are we going to give? The best of those are those to help in creation. So it's time to give more and be more, and trust in Allah's word, trust in Allah's quote, that He will bless you from places you never imagined. And when He says that you cannot imagine, that Allah will reward you.
That is so true. And it's all about giving back and understanding what it means when you give back, that fulfillment, that reward, that blessings that you get is something that you'll never find anywhere else. And it's so understood from Brother Hussain Choonara. You're giving back so selflessly. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. What words would you like to leave us with?
I want to thank you. We're here with our delegation made up of volunteers and staff members from South Africa, and we joined our teams here in Malawi, who are, they are active 24 hours, not only in Malawi, but in all the areas that we're working. Our teams are based here. We have structures in place, and we have our project department to give feedback and ensure that the projects that donors sponsor towards is a sustainable project. It gets maintained, and we give feedback and ensure that the villages between these projects are based, that the villages are empowered and grow from strength to strength. I want to thank all the donors and want to encourage all those listening, go to Africa Muslims Agency and donate and heal Africa.
Inshallah. We want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And of course, from myself and the team, we would like to commend you on the types of work that you've been going out there and giving. It's so phenomenal to see the type of upliftment and in the time, on the enormity that it's being done is so amazing to see that connection between your team going out there and just giving back in many directions. So from myself and the team, we want to say congratulations. May Allah take you from strength to strength. And we're hoping that we could help in some way as well as a team from Salam Media. But we wanted to shed light on this matter this afternoon so that we can get others to join in and also help you grow in making that difference.
Shukran so much to you and the rest of the team at Salam Media. Allah bless you guys for all the fantastic work that you guys are doing and take you from strength to strength so you can impact lives and communities all over the world.
Gee, Jazakallah so much, and nothing but the best in Malawi. We are hoping that you, of course, reach your goal, and we're telling all our viewers out there this afternoon to be able to join you, to get onto your website, as you explained to us earlier, that the date, the address of the website, and they need to get involved in helping you make that difference out there. So all the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Brother Hussain Choonara coming to you live from Malawi, giving us the situation out there in Malawi. And it is quite dire. And I think one of the most important amenities that is missing there is water, which is, people are in such a dire need of water. And it's something that we cannot live without. So we're saying, go out there, get onto their website, reach out and help them uplift and make a difference. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Willing to do your part to help those in need.